My hand froze on the doorknob. The knock had come 3 times. Slow, deliberate. And then, nothing. No shuffling feet, no voice asking if anyone was home, no breathing on the other side of the wood separating me from whoever stood there in the dim hallway light. My heart slammed against my ribs so hard, I thought they might hear it. My palm was slick with sweat, and I pulled it away from the metal, wiping it on my jeans. The apartment felt too small suddenly, the walls pressing in. I'd felt it all evening, that crawling sensation along the back of my neck, the certainty that someone was watching me through the window, even though I lived on the 4th floor. And now this. If I open this door, I might not walk away. It started 6 hours earlier. I'd been grocery shopping, nothing unusual. The store was bright and crowded, the kind of Saturday afternoon chaos that makes you feel invisible. I liked that feeling. I pushed my cart down the cereal aisle, debating between brands I couldn't afford to care about. That's when I saw him. A man in a gray jacket, standing at the end of the aisle. Not shopping, not moving, just looking at me. I told myself it was nothing. People zone out in grocery stores all the time. I grabbed a box at random and moved on. But when I turned down the next aisle, he was there again. Different side, same position, same blank stare. My stomach tightened. I abandoned my cart near the frozen foods and walked quickly toward the exit, my pulse thumping in my ears. I didn't look back. I told myself not to. But I felt his eyes on me the entire way to my car. Back in my apartment, I triple-checked the locks. Chain, deadbolt, handle lock. I'd lived alone for 8 months now, ever since Marcus moved out. The breakup had been mutual, civil even, but the silence he left behind was loud. I'd gotten used to it, learned to like it, actually. Except on nights like this. I made tea, turned on the TV, tried to watch something mindless, but my eyes kept drifting to the window. The blinds were closed, but that didn't stop the feeling. Someone was watching. I stood and walked to the window, peeking through the slats. The parking lot below was mostly empty. A few cars, streetlights casting orange pools on the asphalt. Nothing moved. I let the blind snap shut. "You're being paranoid," I said aloud. My voice sounded small. That's when my phone buzzed. Unknown number. I stared at the screen, my thumb hovering over the green button. It rang 4 times, then stopped. No voicemail. 30 seconds later, it rang again. Same number. I declined it. A text appeared immediately. "You should answer." My blood turned cold. I tried calling the number back. It went straight to a generic voicemail, the robotic voice asking me to leave a message. I didn't. Instead, I opened my laptop and searched for reverse phone lookup sites. Nothing came up. The number was registered, but unlisted. I thought about calling the police. But what would I say? Someone looked at me in a store? Someone called me and sent a vague text? They'd think I was wasting their time. Maybe I was. I paced the apartment, my mind racing through possibilities. Wrong number? Scam caller? Ex-boyfriend playing games? Though Marcus had never been that type. Then I remembered Mrs. Chen. My downstairs neighbor. She'd mentioned something last week when we passed in the stairwell. I'd been distracted, half listening while juggling grocery bags. "Someone was asking about you," she'd said. "Young man, very polite." "Who?" I asked. She'd shrugged. "Didn't say. I told him I didn't give out tenant information." He thanked me and left. I hadn't thought much of it then. Probably a delivery driver or someone looking for a different apartment. But now, I grabbed my phone and texted her, "Hey, the person who asked about me last week, what did he look like?" The three dots appeared, then vanished, then appeared again. Gray jacket, dark hair. Why? Is everything okay? I didn't respond. My hands were shaking too hard to type. The knock came at 9:47 p.m. I'd been sitting on the couch, every light in the apartment blazing, trying to convince myself I was overreacting. The TV was on mute. I was watching the door. 3 knocks. Steady. Patient. Then silence. I stood slowly, my legs unsteady. I crept toward the door, avoiding the floorboards I knew creaked. Through the peephole, I saw nothing. The hallway was empty. But someone had knocked. I'd heard it, felt it. "Hello?" I called out, my voice cracking. No answer. I pressed my ear against the door. Across the street, in the parking lot of a closed dry cleaner, a car was parked. Dark sedan, the driver's side faced my building. And in the dim glow of a distant streetlight, I saw a figure sitting inside, watching. The police arrived in 10 minutes. 2 officers, a woman with kind eyes and a man with a permanent scowl. They walked through my apartment, checked the locks, looked out the windows. "The car's gone," the male officer said, peering through the blinds. "It was there 5 minutes ago," I insisted. "We believe you," the woman said. "Did you get a license plate?" "No, I was too scared to look that long." She nodded. "Tell us everything from the beginning." I did. The man in the grocery store, the phone calls, the text with the photo, Mrs. Chen's comment, the knock with no one there. They took notes, asked to see my phone, examined the photo. "This was taken tonight," the male officer asked. "Less than an hour ago." He exchanged a glance with his partner. "Have you had any disputes recently? Ex-boyfriend, co-worker?" "No, nothing." "Anyone who might want to scare you?" I started to say no, then stopped. There was someone, but it couldn't be. "Ma'am?" the female officer prompted. There was an incident 3 years ago. I testified against someone. He was convicted." "What was the charge?" "Stalking. Assault." I swallowed hard. His name was Daniel Reeves. "But he's in prison." "He got 6 years." The officers exchanged another look. "Give me a moment," the woman said, stepping into the hallway with her radio. The male officer stayed with me, his expression unreadable. 2 minutes later, her partner returned. Her face was pale. "Daniel Reeves was released 4 months ago. Good behavior." The room tilted. Daniel Reeves had been my coworker once. Friendly, helpful, normal until he wasn't. It started with compliments, then gifts I didn't want, then showing up places I'd mentioned I'd be, then following me home. When I reported him, he escalated. Threats, late-night calls, photos of me sleeping that he'd somehow taken through my bedroom window. The trial had been brutal. His lawyer painted me as paranoid, attention-seeking, but the evidence was overwhelming. 6 years felt like justice. And now he was out. "He's not allowed to contact you," the female officer said. "Restraining order is still active." Clearly that doesn't matter to him. "We're going to file a report, escalate this to detectives who handle repeat offenders. In the meantime, is there somewhere else you can stay tonight?" I thought of friends, family. Everyone lived too far away. "I'll figure it out," I said. But I didn't move.
After the officers left, I sat on the couch, staring at the door. My phone buzzed. I flinched, but it was just Mrs. Chun. Police came? Are you safe? For now, I typed back. I'm here if you need anything. Don't hesitate. I appreciated it, but what could she do? I tried to sleep, couldn't. Every sound was amplified, the building settling, a car door slamming outside, footsteps in the hallway that belonged to my neighbor coming home late.
At 2:17 a.m., my phone lit up. Unknown number. Another text. I waited 3 years to see you again. My stomach dropped. Then another. You looked the same, still beautiful when you're scared. I threw the phone across the room. It hit the wall and clattered to the floor. I pulled my knees to my chest, rocking slightly. The walls were closing in again. I couldn't breathe. Then, footsteps in the hallway. Slow. Deliberate. They stopped outside my door. A shadow appeared in the gap beneath it. Someone standing there, waiting. I grabbed a kitchen knife from the counter, my hands shaking so badly I almost dropped it. The shadow didn't move. 1 minute passed. 2. Then, another knock. 3 times. Go away, I screamed. The police know about you. They're coming back. Silence. Then a voice. Low. Calm. Familiar. Ava. My name, spoken like a secret. I'm not here to hurt you. I just want to talk. No, my voice broke. You're not allowed near me. I know, but I need you to understand something. I don't care. It's not me. I froze. What? I said, it's not me. I'm not the one watching you. I didn't believe him. Couldn't. Prove it, I said, gripping the knife tighter. Check your email. I sent something 5 minutes ago from my parole officer's computer. I've been with him all evening. He'll confirm it. My phone was on the floor where I'd thrown it. I moved toward it slowly, never taking my eyes off the door. I opened my email with trembling fingers. There it was, from an official state address, time-stamped 2:14 a.m. Subject: I need you to listen. I opened it. Ava, I know you have no reason to believe me. I know what I did to you was unforgivable. I spent 3 years in prison thinking about it, getting help, trying to become someone who could live with himself. When I got out, I wanted to contact you, to apologize. But I knew I couldn't. The restraining order, the pain I caused. So I stayed away. But 2 weeks ago, someone contacted me, asked questions about you. Where you lived, where you worked, what your routines were. I told them nothing, I swear. But Ava, they knew things. Things only someone close to you would know. I'm outside your door because I followed them here tonight. They're in the building, and I don't think they're going to wait much longer. His name is Marcus Holloway, your ex-boyfriend. Check the photo they sent you. Look at the metadata. It was taken 6 weeks ago, not tonight. He's been planning this. My blood turned to ice. Marcus, sweet, understanding Marcus, who'd agreed to an amicable breakup, who'd moved out without drama, who'd texted occasionally to check in, friendly and casual. Marcus, who still had a key. I'd never asked for it back. A sound behind me, inside the apartment. The bathroom door creaking open. I spun around, the knife raised. Marcus stepped out, his face half shadowed in the dim light. "You finally figured it out," he said softly. He was holding something, not a weapon, a phone. "You should see your face right now. That fear. That's what I wanted. That's what you took from me when you left." "Marcus, what are you—" "I loved you," his voice cracked. "I gave you everything, and you just decided you were done, like I was nothing. We agreed. You agreed. I played along because I knew if I showed you how much it hurt, you'd run. So I waited, planned, made you feel safe. I watched you every day, from the parking lot, from the cafe across the street. I learned your patterns, your fears, and tonight I was going to knock on that door and finally talk to you. Make you understand." Then Daniel showed up, your stalker ex-con, playing hero. My back hit the wall. "You're sick," I whispered. "Maybe," he smiled, "but I'm not done yet." The door exploded inward. Daniel crashed through, shoulder first, the chain snapping. Marcus lunged at me, but Daniel was faster. He slammed into Marcus, both of them hitting the floor hard. I ran for the hallway, screaming for help. Lights flickered on in other apartments, doors opened, voices shouted. Behind me, the sounds of struggle, something breaking, a grunt of pain. Mrs. Chen appeared at the top of the stairs, her phone already at her ear. "Police! 4th floor!" she barked into it. By the time I turned around, it was over. Daniel had Marcus pinned, one hand twisted behind his back. Blood trickled from Daniel's temple, but his grip didn't waver. Marcus was crying. "I just wanted to talk. I just wanted her to understand," he sobbed. The police came. Paramedics checked Daniel's head wound. Minor concussion, they said. He'd be fine. Marcus was arrested. Breaking and entering, stalking, violation of the restraining order, the one he'd somehow convinced me didn't exist, that I'd never needed. The detectives found weeks of surveillance photos on his laptop, videos of me through my window, detailed notes about my schedule. He'd never left. He just made me think he had. Daniel gave a statement, explained how Marcus had contacted him 2 weeks prior, pretending to be a parole officer, checking references. That's how he'd known something was wrong. "Why did you help me?" I asked him later, after the ambulance had left. He looked at me with tired eyes. "Because I know what it's like to be him. And I know the damage that kind of obsession does. To you, to yourself. I couldn't let it happen again." "You broke down my door." "I did." "You could have called the police." "I tried. They said someone already called, that they were on their way. But I saw the way he was looking at your window." He paused. "I knew there wasn't time." I didn't know what to say. This man who'd terrorized me years ago had just saved me from another nightmare. "Thank you," I finally whispered. He nodded once, then walked away. I didn't sleep in that apartment again. Mrs. Chen helped me pack. The landlord let me break my lease. I moved across the city, new locks, new routines, new phone number. Marcus pleaded guilty. 8 years, no parole. Daniel sent one letter, months later, an apology. A real one. He didn't ask for forgiveness, just wanted me to know he understood what he'd taken from me and that he was trying to do better. I didn't respond, but I didn't throw it away either. Sometimes I still feel it, that crawling sensation on the back of my neck, that certainty that someone's watching. But now I know the difference between paranoia and intuition. Now I trust the fear, because sometimes the loudest dangers whisper, and the quiet ones knock.